Bangladesh and India have been allied more or less since their inception, despite having minor disputes on certain issues. The current Bangladeshi ruling party have taken Indo-Bangladeshi relations to the next level since they came to power in 2009, reaching major milestones in security cooperation as well as a massive upsurge in bilateral trade. I'm Qasim, welcome to another KJ vid, and in this video we will discuss the relationship between Bangladesh and India. Bangladesh is surrounded by India from the north and west, and much of the east, with the Bay of Bengal in the south and Myanmar in the southeast. The border between Bangladesh and India covers a staggering 4,095 kilometers, with West Bengal having the largest share. Both countries have close cultural ties, most significantly of which would be perhaps the Bengali language. The main official language of India's West Bengal is Bengali, spoken by over 100 million people, which also happens to be the only official language of Bangladesh. On the other hand, Hindi and Bengali have same roots in the Sanskrit language, which causes them to have many similarities and enables ease of learning. Bangladesh had been part of British India until 1947, after which it was annexed as part of Pakistan and was known as East Pakistan. However, after a 9-month-long war of liberation, Bangladesh gained independence in 1971 and subsequently joined the Commonwealth of Nations in 1972 and the United Nations in 1974. India had been an independent state since the end of the British Empire, with a history of complex and largely hostile relations with Pakistan due to a number of historical and political events. Bangladesh and India have had friendly relations throughout much of their history. India has provided significant assistance to Bangladesh in their war of liberation against Pakistan in 1971 in terms of military support and firepower. However, it must be noted that ever since the British left India in 1947, India have always had a volatile relationship with Pakistan, and they acted in their own best interests as they felt threatened with geographical presence of Pakistan from the east and the west. Consequently, India was the first country to recognize Bangladesh as an independent state immediately afterwards. Bangladesh has had a moderate foreign policy that places multilateral diplomacy as one of its core initiatives. Ambassador of Bangladesh to the US, Mohammed Ziauddin, stated in 2009 that Bangladesh's foreign policy is based on the father of the nation, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's dictum, friendship with all and malice towards none, with the ruling party leader Sheikh Hasina and Prime Minister of Bangladesh being the daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The first trade agreement between the two countries was signed in 1972, and trade volume is staggering as of today. According to some of the most recent available figures, Indian exports to Bangladesh total $4.5 billion between July 2016 and March 2017, while Bangladesh exports to India were worth $672 million during the fiscal year of 2016. India have also extended 3 lines of credits between 2010 and 2017, worth up to $8 billion, making Bangladesh the largest recipient of Indian LOCs. Today, Bangladesh is home to the fastest growing megacity in the world, Dhaka, while the country also boasts one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with a GDP growth rate averaging over 6% annually over the past 10 years or so. On the other hand, India is the most populous democracy, boasting the 6th largest economy in the world by nominal GDP. Despite good relations, there have been disputes over borders throughout history, and it was not until June 2015 that many of the long-lasting disputes were largely settled. Other significant disputes include maritime claims over seawater at the Bay of Bengal. One of the most discussed topics in their recent bilateral relations has been the border killings of Bangladeshi citizens along the Indo-Bangladesh border by India's border security forces, with their apparent shoot-to-kill policy, in which the Human Rights Watch claimed had killed nearly 1,000 Bangladeshi citizens between 2001 and 2011. Indian officials have argued that the reason for the attacks were largely due to increasing illegal migration of Bangladeshis into India, as well as persistent misuse of borders by illicit traders. Another major dispute concerns the sharing of the river Teesta. Teesta is one of the 54 rivers shared by Bangladesh and India. This river originates in Sikkim and flows through the north of West Bengal, and meets the Brahmaputra River in Bangladesh. The countries reached agreement on sharing the river for the first time in 1983, according to which the share of the water was as follows: India would have 39%, Bangladesh would have 36%, and 25% remains unallocated. However, in recent years, Bangladesh has been asking for an equitable share. Water disputes between the two countries have existed for quite a long time throughout history. Notably, it took 20 years to end the Ganges River dispute in 1996. In 2011, an interim deal that was supposed to last the 15 following years increased the share of India to 42.5% and that of Bangladesh to 37.5%. But to the disappointment of Bangladesh as well as India, it never materialised, largely due to the government of West Bengal refusing to sign due to concerns of the northern region dying out. Despite planning failure being regarded as one of the main reasons for not having reached an agreement as of yet, there are other underlying reasons why things haven't materialised. There is no denying that Bangladesh do need their share of water, with the Asia Foundation reporting in 2013 that Teesta's floodplain covers 14% of the total cropped area of Bangladesh and provides the direct livelihood opportunities to approximately 73% of its population. On the other hand, the River Teesta plays a major role in northern Bengal, while nearly half a dozen districts in the entire West Bengal state are dependent on it. The previous Bangladesh Nationalist Party government did not have strong alliance with India and thus were not quite receptive to India's concerns. They had also garnered opposition from India due to providing refuge to leaders and members of some of the northern eastern non-state actors and militias. However, due to their close relations, the current ruling party have largely followed India-friendly policies whilst taking India's side on their fight against northeastern separatists. In spite of all this, Delhi closely anticipates an agreement for the sharing of River Teesta, which they believe would give them political leverage over the apparent rising influence of China in the Bay of Bengal. The current ruling party led by Sheikh Hasina has had a strong alliance with India ever since they came to power in 2009, with major acts of cooperation taking place in the subsequent years. Bilateral relations of the two countries had never been better as it has been over the past decade or so. Prior to 2017, there were no formal mechanisms in place for any significant security cooperation, but this all changed in 2017. Sheikh Hasina made a special visit to India in 2018, which resulted in the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding on the Framework for Defence Cooperation. This paved way for improved cooperation between the armed forces of both the countries, with MOUs signed for cooperation ranging from joint military exercises, sharing of strategical operation studies for the Defence Services Command and Staff Colleges, Coast Guard cooperation between the two countries, to an extension of line of credit worth $500 million for the purchase of defence equipment from India. One of the major deals was the Rampal power plant, which is a proposed 1300 megawatt coal-fired power station in the Khulna region. This is a joint venture between the Bangladesh Power Development Board and India's National Thermal Power Corporation. However, the signing of the deal was subject to much controversy due to the proposed site being only 14 kilometers north of the world's largest mangrove forest, the Sundarbans, which happens to be a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It received attention locally as well as the international arena because the project violates the environmental impact assessment guidelines for coal-based thermal power plants. Environmental experts have expressed major concerns due to the close proximity to the Sundarbans, while there have been campaigns by the National Committee on Protection of Oil, Gas, Mineral Resources and Powerport and environmentalists against the proposed project. Despite all the protests, the Bangladeshi government have consistently denied all claims and allegations about the negative environmental impacts of the Rampal project. The project has been underway for a while now, however little progress has been made. In September 2018, Bangladesh signed a Memorandum of Understanding with India, which would let the latter use two of Bangladesh's major ports, Chittagong and Mongla. Bangladesh and India are two of the major economies of South Asia, and their relationship will have a lasting impact on the region's development. While India has the potential to emerge as a major world power competing with the likes of China and the US, Bangladesh may also have a role to play in their development. With the general elections coming up, the AWAMI League are favourite to get re-elected, while it is the same for BJP, with Narendra Modi expected to remain Prime Minister should they win again. The relations between India and Bangladesh are likely to get better and better, with the only worry for India being China's increasing cooperation with Bangladesh. That's all guys, thanks for watching another KJ vid. We would like to especially thank our new contributor Ishtiaq Khan, who conducted the research for this video in collaboration with KJ Vids. Please don't forget to support our crowdfunding campaign on fundmypage.com or join our Patreon program where you can get perks for our content. You can also browse our book collection on our website kjvids.co.uk. Finally, if you would like to sponsor a KJ video, you can do so via fundmyvideo.com. Thanks for watching again and see you next time.